The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy. It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wyldeside with Eric Clark. I'm your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my little video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and you're following on all the social media I have linked down below. That way, if there's a band, song, video, something you'd like me to check out, hit me up with a DM or leave it in the comments below. If you are going to hit me up with a DM, please no spamming. Unless you want to send me spam, then the mailing address is down there. If you are going to leave it in the comments, become a concurpa. A concurpa is a Sherpa who concurs. That's really where it comes from, my man. It's just a little cute name I've given our subscribers. So become one simply by giving the comments a cursory glance. If you see your suggestions already been made, all you have to do is like that original suggestion and below reply with I concur. That'll help my old burnout resin-coated DJ brain put everything into a nice little organized list, and I can get it into the handy-dandy notebook. Also, twice a week we are live streaming the Wyldeside Live, coming from East Nashville, Wednesdays at 11, Saturdays at 2 Central Time. 2 hours of fun and frivolity, another chance for you to get your suggestions, questions, whatever it is to me that you need to get a hold of. We can link you to all of it. It's just 2 hours of good chat, good time, every Saturday and Wednesday. Wednesdays 11, Saturdays at 2. Before we get started in today's video, I do want to say thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. I've opened up a can of worms, and I've gone into a rabbit hole with a band. I've done a recent reaction to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, a band out of Australia, and I have opened up the rabbit hole. So everybody is throwing suggestions at me. I've tried to do as much research as I can, but I do have a day job, so I do rely on all of you to giving me all the information. Today we are back with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and we are checking out a track from an album called Butterfly 3000. I think it was released in 2021. And the name of the song is Catching Smoke. So it's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with Catching Smoke on the Wyldeside. Let's check it out. I like the harpsichord. Underrated instrument. Got 4 keys out. 70s with the Gary Newman.
Inside my pocket, it cost me $25. Baby, we cook our hobbies. So give me just a couple hours. Starting fires with soft timber. Middle of the magic hours. Everybody here is catching smoke, looking for the ephemeral. Swallowing the sun in the moonlight room, standing at the foot of a rainbow. Everybody here is catching smoke, looking for the ephemeral. Running on the yellow belly brown snake, sipping on hidden gizzard. Catching smoke, catching smoke, catching smoke, catching smoke, catching smoke, catching
Catching Smoke, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, as suggested from a previous video I had done for this band. Rarely am I at a loss for words, and I'm not, but I am struggling because that is a really, that's a lot. That is a lot to take in. When it first comes in, you hear the harpsichord, and again, very underrated instrument. It takes me back to like, you know, Golden Brown by the Stranglers, and it immediately puts this really cool groove into my brain. But I thought, okay, 4 keys, a drum, and a guitar, perfectly blended. I wrote beautiful tone. Just such a great tone that they're getting right from the get-go. Very melodic, very hypnotic, yet very safe. You feel very comfortable and you feel very secure in that initial tone. So anything from there on, you're quite accepting. Even though you may not know the track, you may not know the band, what you're experiencing right from the get-go is safe enough for you to open up to the rest of what's coming. And what's coming is really cool. I kept thinking about whoever wrote this musically. I don't know if it was written by the band entirely or if one person came in and said, hey, I've got this track. But all I kept thinking about was, that's a weird time signature. That's off. Okay, yet, whoever constructed that, I talk about this all the time. Music is about the proper amount of layer. How much of each am I putting into this construction to create this sound? So you're hearing, and I think it's one. I don't write music. I'm not a musicologist or whatever they call it. But I have mixed in nightclubs. That was my first foray into the working in music, was mixing in nightclubs and raves and things like that. So I'm a beat mixer, but I'm hearing it's like a Genesis track. It's like when Peter Gabriel was with Genesis, this progressive time signature that you know is off to your normal cadence, to your normal saccadic rhythm that you make with a song. You know it's off, right? You can tell in your head. There's something saying this is odd. This is an odd time signature. But what's happening around it is being blended so well that it becomes in rhythm, if that makes any sense. Again, I'm not a professor of music, so I'm not sure if I'm getting this correctly, because when I see the music sheet, when I'm watching him play and there's a music sheet, that looks like Futurama writing to me. So I have no idea what is happening, but my brain is saying, even though there's something off here, everything else around it is compensating for what is unfamiliar. And his vocals, Stu McKenzie, the melodic track of his vocals are very well controlled, even though they may sound sharp, right? Like there's a sharpness to them. Don't mistake the sharpness for clarity. And sometimes that it can be misheard, that you're hearing clarity and it's mistaken for that sharp. No. It's clear, right? So when I say sharp, I don't mean sharp, cutting. I mean sharp as in perfect, right? The melodic vocal is perfect for everything that's happening around them. And again, I struggled to find the words to describe the, I wrote safe melody, erratic time. And the combination of those two create this really cool, I wrote down psychedelic synth prog. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of, like I said, Gary Newman. I'm hearing, Massive Attack. I'm hearing a lot of that melodic, progressive, but really cool time signature that creates this uniqueness to it that draws you in. And because of how well everything around that oddity that draws you in is done so well, everything flows together and creates this really cool psychedelic synth prog. I mean, that was very well done. Did not feel like 6.5 minutes. And that's another sign of a well-constructed song, is that when you get to the end, it's not that you feel incomplete. You feel satisfied. You feel whole. Like, okay, there was a beginning, a middle, and an end, and there was no time to it. It's a song that proves that time is a construct, because you see 6.5 minutes, and then you hear it, and you go, was that 6? It makes you almost question, what is time? Oh, my God, dude, because that wasn't 6.5 minutes. It flowed very well. The tones were perfect. The melodies were perfect. Everything was sharp, clear, nice and rich in its foundational texture. So the layering of the keys was very well done. Someone told me that these guys released 5 albums in 1 year. So I have a lot to catch up on, and I have a lot to get through. But I've opened up a really cool rabbit hole with King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So thank you very much for that suggestion. That was Catching Smoke. I will definitely be checking out more of the Australian band King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So much so that I actually reached out to a programming friend of mine when I had heard the first track, Gila Monster. I had actually sent an old program director friend and I still chat. He'll say, hey, check out this track. Hey, check out that track. We'll do that back and forth. Excuse me. And I said, hey, man, you need to check out King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Gila Monster. So that's how attractive the band is, for me anyway. So I'm looking forward to getting deeper into that rabbit hole. So thank you very much for that suggestion. If you have any suggestions, make sure you're subscribed and you're following on all the social media. That way you can hit me up with a DM, leave your suggestion in the comments, just give the comments a cursory glance. If you see someone else has already made that suggestion, just like that comment and below reply with I concur. That helps me put everything into like a most requested list. It really helps out. Also, Wednesdays 11 a.m., Saturdays 2 p.m., we are live streaming from the east side of Nashville. So make sure you're subscribed, locked in for 2 hours of fun and frivolity. Thank you to Connect 200, Music to See, Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Thank you to all of you for taking time out of your busy day to give my little video a watch and a listen. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.